Marvel Spider-Man, another Sony classic, I would like to say. I'm pretty sure we all agree. We've all put in. You guys have put in more time than I have. I've only got like maybe a good like 20-ish hours in the game, but enough to beat the story. We've all put in a lot of time in it.
Yep.
So,
Yes.
starting with you, Sean, what did you think about just give me like your first impressions of it, like thoughts on the gameplay.
Well, I mean, number one, the game's amazing. I just gotta put that out there.
Absolutely.
You know, don't bust a nut.
Exactly.
You're too late. You're too late.
Already too late.
I've already done it. But anyways, right? As far as like the gameplay goes, it's pretty solid. I love it. It's super fun. It's one of the few games this year that I've played and I've been like, yeah, this is like classic fun. Like I can play it and not get bored, and I can play it and not be angry. And if I am angry, it's never enough to the point where I'm just like, I'm gonna just shut the whole game down, bro. I'm done. Like, you know, if it ever gets to a point where I'm just like, man, I can't beat it, I just abandon the mission, swing around, you know, cool off, beat a few thugs in New York, and then, you know, go right back to it.
Okay. Charles, what did you think? First going into it, day one thoughts.
Day one, I am my first thing was, as soon as I turned the game on, I just wanted to get through that first cutscene as quickly as possible and get to the swinging. Because that's the number one thing about Spider-Man games that I enjoy. It's just swinging around New York, man. Literally, it's like soothing to me, and I was so satisfied when I finally got to swing around the city, and it just felt natural, you know. It wasn't clunky or herky jerky. Everything felt seamless. I'm currently swinging right now, and I don't have a care in the world, man. So, if anything, if the game was going to be trash in every other regard, at least the swing was done right.
I feel that.
I'd still play the game even if it was trash, just because of that. So I'm happy about that. The combat system is awesome, man. Awesome. It's easy to understand, and you can get really creative with it.
Absolutely.
We're going to go into detail about that later, but
hell yeah.
That's what I'm thinking right now about that. That's pretty much all I got to say about first impression.
So Damon, if you're not getting wrecked in Splatoon right now, what did you think? First impressions of Spider-Man.
My first impressions were just the webs thing entirely. Like, it's a major improvement, and the combat's way better. I just wish we didn't feel, you know, everything felt too safe. Because take fall.
You're cutting out a little bit.
Oh dang! Hold on. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So take fall.
It's still happening.
Same word too. Like, that's crazy.
Huh?
The FBI, they're watching.
Like shit.
The game.
Sony got them. They got them Sony snipers on your rooftop, bro, waiting for you to fuck something up.
Right. The game was good except for.
Don't say that word.
I like the. It's a.
Internet. You said what?
I say what you were gonna say again.
Oh yeah.
Because you were saying it was too safe.
Yeah, you could heal mid and you don't take fall damage, and while the combat it's very satisfying to like beat the living shit out of people. Like sometimes like 5 at a time, but still it's way too easy for me at least.
Did you play on Spectacular?
Yes.
You still found that shit too easy.
Yeah, the only difficult part for the most part, I actually got fucked on that one. And the vulture fight too. Again?
Yeah, like it cut out right when you were saying what part it was.
God damn it. Yeah. it got difficult at the Rhino fight and the Vulture. I'm not good with mid-air battles yet.
I feel that.
Basically.
It was kind of easy for me, but honestly, the hardest parts, combat-wise, for me, were the group fights. Like every time I do a base, like I always, if I slack around, I'm gonna die.
Oh hell yeah!
When you're on Spectacular, they attack you, not all at once, but they attack consecutively. Like there's less time between. There's less time intervals between one enemy attacking and then the next, and that's just physical attacks. And then besides that, you got the people shooting at a distance. And let me tell you something, man. Them rockets, you're not paying attention.
Oh, that shit used to piss me off, dog.
Bro, them rockets will knock you the fuck out.
No bullshit. Or the one guy with a pistol across the room.
For me, the hardest base to take on is Sable.
Oh hell yeah, bro! Those were brutal.
No, the Sable, yeah, man. They got all that advanced tech.
No bullshit.
It's so annoying, man. Those were harder than the boss battles for me. The only boss battle that was hard for me was the Shocker battle.
In all honesty, I found like the Rikers ones to be the hardest ones for me because like the Sable ones, I was able to get in there, you know, get out. Like even the jetpack dudes didn't really stop me too much because I'm pretty good with the dodge. Having played the game and now I'm going back through it on Spectacular. But yeah, the Rikers guys, they always got me because like that one fat dude would just pull up on me and then just start knocking me in the back of my head.
Those fucking brutes.
These guys, man.
Those fucking brutes. So,
Crazy.
Going back to first impressions, I've kind of felt like you did, Charles. I was just like, all right, this cutscene is nice. I want to see what this web swing is like. Yep. Because that is, like you said, that's the most important part of this game. And I hate to be cliche here, but if you're playing a superhero game, it's supposed to make you feel like that superhero. So like, and I know you probably heard that shit a lot in all these reviews because everyone's fucking saying that, and it's really kind of stupid. But I mean, yeah, that's what it is. So the web swinging, way better. It feels a lot like not to use like Smash terminology, but it kind of feels like playing with Mario because he has so much control in the air. Like just to control like your direction while you're swinging, like it really feels like where you're pushing the stick has a lot of influence on where you're gonna go next. And you could really tell like whenever you swing, like it has to like stick to something. So like you tell that like web swinging in the city is different than like web swinging in the like in a park or like near a bunch of trees or some shit like that. But like it really seems like each individual web like has like torque and shit, and it like starts out spiraled, sticks out, and then he really has like momentum with every swing. And like above all, it's really fun. And once you start doing things like, you know, one big swing and then you zip to like a pole on a building and then you like boost jump past that and then swing somewhere else, I mean, you really just get to moving. And when you get moving in the game, like you can really get lost in just swinging around the city doing nothing, which I think is the best part.
Exactly. That's what I'm doing right now.
Oh hell yeah, because it's that I think that's really important for an open world game. Because for a lot of games that are like open world for no fucking reason, it's like it's almost like it's a mission hub. But I feel like in Spider-Man you get to interact a bit more with the open world, and it's fun to get around it, you know?
Yeah.
Like I love games like GTA, but I mean a lot of times it's just like, all right, I just have to drive here, and now I have to drive here, and now I have to drive here. It's like it's not really fun to get around. Whereas in Spider-Man, I mean, I wouldn't care how far away a fucking mission was.
Right.
As long as that web swinging is solid, then we're good.
I see a mission like it'll be like 5,000 meters away, and I'll
yeah.
be like, oh, I better get to swinging.
Yeah, like bet, let's go. And you're gonna get stopped on the way there.
Exactly. It's almost like you're excited to see how far it is. So you can just get that chance to just swing across the city and see how like good you really are at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What were you saying, Damon?
One issue about the web swinging is that the velocities.
You said what?
So it doesn't feel like you're going any faster. I mean, like, say you're jumping down from and
You're still cutting out, James.
Yeah, you gotta fix the gain on that shit.
the web swinging entirely and the combat, but everything felt hella safe.
Well, no. What were you saying about your problem with the web swinging?
The velocity, it feels locked. You don't go slower, or you don't go any faster either.
Wait, what? Boy, are you smoking cocaine?
I was about to say, because I definitely felt like it was
Alright.
building up the more that I swung.
Alright, the physics. Alright, I'm gonna compare this to Spider-Man 2, right?
Oh my
Here we
God.
go.
Here we
Here we go.
The best Spider-Man game ever.
So like, oh wait, it's not the velocities of it. Yeah, it's entirely the physics, because say like you're swinging, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't extend another web. You just stay on the same web. You swing backwards until you stop, holding on to the same web.
Right.
In this game, you don't do that. You can like not press anything. You still continue swinging.
And then it'll just like make you automatically jump off.
Yes.
Wait, hold
Is
up.
that a bad thing though?
That if I hold down the right trigger and I pull back on the stick, I won't stop swinging?
No. I don't think so.
Because I just did it.
Alright. Basically what I'm saying is,
Mm-hmm.
what the fuck?
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Alright. Alright. Basically, I hate how it's automatic. You don't have as much. You have freedom to swing, but you don't control how you do it. If you see what I'm getting at.
I don't.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't either.
God damn it.
No, because you're saying it's automatic, but it's all controlled by like a trigger pull. And I will say like some things like Spider-Man does on his own. Like if you're in a building, let's say you launch off of a building, and then you're like kind of flying over a lot of geometry, and you just pull the trigger. Like I can tell like the game is like, oh shit, there's a lot of stuff around here that you could be trying to attach to, and there's a lot of low-bearing buildings that you're close to. So the game will like auto launch you off of as much of it as it can.
Oh yeah.
You to a point where it can start swinging again, and it can give you back that control. And I can like concede that point to you, but I don't.
Nah, well, what I like about this one is that even if you're swinging through Central Park, let's use it forward. In Spider-Man 2, that's just impossible.
I see what you mean.
Also, I hate you and everyone else who says Spider-Man 2, and I will make that known.
It's not a bad game, bruh, but it was low-key the best shit that we had, next to Ultimate Spider-Man, which I think does not get the clout that it deserves.
Spider-Man 2 is good.
Get overlooked way too much in this conversation because everybody's like, Spider-Man 2. Bruh, no one cares. That game's garbage, just like every other movie game that came out.
I don't know if it was garbage, dog. That shit was alright. That shit was alright, bro. I don't know if Spider-Man 2 was garbage.
Bro, the movie and the game both were hits, bro.
I mean, the movie was pretty dope. The game,
bro.
Bro, that like created the template for every other Spider-Man game that came after it, bro.
I'm not saying it didn't. I'm just saying
that it ain't as good as people say it is.
Exactly. Like,
did anybody?
Don't think to say Spider-Man 2 like it was, Halo or like Modern Warfare 2. Like for Spider-Man games, like kind of maybe as far as swinging goes, but that's really it. It didn't tell a really great story. It just kind of did what every other movie game does. Phones it in and does the best it can for the money it was made with.
Well, we'll see. I think I can counter that, bro. Because like, think about every other superhero game that came out before Spider-Man 2 came out in 2004. What was better than that?
Huh. That's a tough question.
Yeah, like superhero games used to fucking suck before Spider-Man 2.
Bro, I remember playing the Superman game on GameCube, bro.
Yeah, that shit was terrible.
I couldn't get past one level where you had to like stop a dam from flooding because you couldn't press the buttons fast enough. So like, you had the button mash, and I couldn't do it, bro.
This nigga had slow thumbs back in the day.
It was
slow
that,
thumbs
it was
was
the
bro.
fucking physics in the game that probably prevented him from doing that anyway. So
There you go.
the game was unplayably bad. Unplayably bad.
Fucking. Did anyone play Ultimate Spider-Man?
I did.
That shit was great. Like, I swear that's better than Spider-Man
like,
2.
Some of the QTEs in that game have given me like a slight sense of carpal tunnel. Like that, it was painful to play some of those QTEs.
Oh, you mean like pressing like each trigger back and forth precisely and shit?
For when Venom was on your ass, especially.
Yeah, that was the thing.
Like I would have to ask my dad to get me through those.
Oh my god, y'all niggas did not know how to tap buttons back in the day, boy.
I was tapping the buttons as hard as I could. And it just was never enough. That game was like, give me more. Best I got.
Damon, what the fuck are you playing right now?
I'm still playing Splatoon.
Getting your ass whooped like shit.
Oh,
But anywho, okay, so Damon thinks the web swinging was good, but could be better. Or I guess that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
Oh, now I remember what it was that I. Why should Spider-Man take fall damage?
I don't know, man. This nigga ain't Superman.
Alright, listen. So, you know...
Very true. It's not so
Fuck. Yeah, you know how,
May confirmed it.
say you're playing
did.
GTA, right?
Okay.
And you're basically you jump out of a plane and you get that feeling in your stomach when you're falling with the character, right?
Right.
I don't get that with this game.
No, I mean that's not like why should he take fall damage?
Because it's still real estate. This nigga won't survive a fall from like the fucking Avengers Tower. Even if he's Spider-Man.
How couldn't he? Is what I'm asking. More because like everyone downplays his strength and durability a lot, but like he can put out 20 tons worth of force, which is 40,000 pounds, right?
Yeah.
And his main villain is literally twice as strong as he is and beats his ass on a regular basis. So I'm 1,000% sure a drop from the top to Empire State Building would at the very least put you at terminal velocity, so he wouldn't be able to accelerate past a certain speed. And I don't think he'd exert 20,000 pounds worth of force on the ground, because you know.
This nigga turned into game theory all of a sudden, boy.
I mean, I'm just saying. 'Cause everyone's like, "Yo, Spider-Man should take fall damage," but that doesn't make sense because he's literally gone through worse. He's been put through entire buildings. He's fought giant robots.
I think it's because
he should take damage from a fall to the top of a building.
I think it's because Spider-Man 2 again, because that was just the thing people did. I can definitely attest to the fact that like when Spider-Man 2 dropped and when my dad used to play that shit every day and he would crawl all the way up to the Empire State Building and just drop and then try to see like if he could hit the web swing at the very last second. Like just as like a little fucking mini game. And like I guess it like makes you be more aware because like I understand that he shouldn't take fall damage and like in terms of like my review, like I don't put it as a knock against the game because it's just like it's like a non-issue to me honestly. But I do think it would add a little bit more suspense if you're like super high up and you're not near anything that you have to web swing and you have to like really point yourself to somewhere that you have to swing to. I think it could add suspense, but I don't think it takes like anything away from it.
I don't know. I always felt like that was kind of like a weird thing
To make him take fall damage?
As far as him taking fall damage, because it's just like you're supposed to be like pretty much the strongest street level hero out there, and like a fall is what's really gonna like for real. Like that's
All
it.
right. Here's another thing.
Before.
Mm-hmm.
So back to Spider-Man 2 again.
The greatest game of all time. Yes, continue.
You know how
I co-sign.
you know how you could take like a dude beat up, web him up, and like throw him off the Empire State Building.
Yes.
I hate how a dude automatically gets saved by by automatically being webbed to a wall.
You nitpicking now, bro. He doesn't kill people.
You are really nitpicking.
He has to not kill people.
know,
like they
I
have to
know.
cover their ass.
I know, but still, bro, like that shit was fun. Like just knocking niggas off.
Okay, look, just because you're a little psychotic and you like throwing niggas off buildings, Spider-Man would logically let that happen.
Nah,
Like,
man. You
Hold on. Dame, didn't you just complain about realism and now you want Spider-Man to kill people? Isn't that a bit unrealistic for his character?
Mmm.
Sean.
Got him red-handed.
I feel you though. I mean, at least they cover it up better than Arkham did, bro. Cause this nigga Batman will break your neck and he'll be talking about some unconscious. This nigga Batman was a fucking murderer, dog. He would drive around.
Spider-Man, man, he don't get off the hook. You throw, like I said, you throw a nigga off the Empire State Building, and he falling at that fast, and he just gets webbed to a building, bro. For one, he's gonna break the glass.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Then you fight on the ground. You kick a nigga like 10 feet up in the air, jump up, and then kick him down head first back into the ground, and he's supposed to be knocked out.
Yeah.
Nah, bruh.
At the very least, your life is different now.
He turns criminals into paraplegic. Man.
For real. For real. At the very least, your life has to be somewhat different. Like you're in a wheelchair off bucks now. Like 100%. But like, I don't know. Like at least it's not like Arkham levels. This nigga Batman drove around in a fucking tank and ran niggas over, and they were like, "Oh no, you electrocuted him," and he flew back. So like what?
Or where you like fire the minigun at him, it switches to rubber bullets.
Yeah. Like as soon as I put my target on him, now it's rubber bullets.
That's kind of a fast switch. I've never seen anybody's thumb move that quickly.
No bullshit.
Because I didn't take my finger off the trigger. I just started looking at him.
Low-key, Spider-Man is still his worst because who the fuck is getting these criminals down from like the top of the Empire State Building?
Hey man, New York cops are used to this. That's all I gotta say.
Basically.
I mean, they come down at some point, but I will give you that. Even Spider-Man himself said, yeah, like my webbing lasts like 2 to 3 hours. So if I don't get him in that time, it's kind of over.
Oh well, that's unfortunate for them. So let's talk about the obvious thing that that's gonna happen, and that happens with and really as soon as before the game came out, the Arkham comparisons, because you could say that the Arkham games were really revolutionary with the whole one button fighting system and one button to dodge. But at least I think that Spider-Man does a really good job of just like not only improving on it, but just like separating itself from it enough. So what did y'all think? Starting with you, I guess, Sean.
So personally, I think the game has completely different than the Arkham games.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Be closer to the mic. Be closer to the mic, bro.
Oh, my bad. But yeah, when I first played the game, I expected it to be something more similar to like the Arkham City games, just based on like the gameplay I had seen. And when I tried to play it like an Arkham game, I started getting my ass handed to me,
Yeah.
like routinely, and it and it pissed me off. But I started realizing, oh wait, like this isn't gonna play like, you know, Arkham Knight, where, you know, like in the middle of any move Batman's doing, the second you press that counter button, he's instantly he got a nigga foot in his hand. And
Yeah.
across the room. It doesn't matter what you were doing. You could have been in the middle of like putting somebody in the dirt. Like he'll instantly just counter whoever was gonna throw a punch, even if they're like across the room and they're just throwing a wild haymaker for no reason.
Yeah.
But I noticed in Spider-Man, like all the enemies really focus on you, and the second like you get caught in a crowd, like, and if one dude in a crowd lets off a punch, like you getting stomped, you getting pistol whipped, and you getting shot at all at once, and you ain't gonna be able to dodge none of it except the last one, because you shouldn't have been in the crowd in the first place.
Right.
Stupid. But nah, it definitely sets itself apart. It's a really solid entry into like any, you know, superhero genre.
Okay. Charles, what did you think about the combat system, and if it did enough to separate itself from Arkham?
Yeah, with the combat system, I felt like I was Spider-Man. I didn't feel like I was Batman fighting as Spider-Man. You know, everything felt like the thing about Spider-Man that I like is as a character in all of the stories and stuff. Again, Sean said it, he's street level, but he's like he's the strongest street level character out there, right?
Right.
So he can give out major ass whoopings, but he can also take major ass whoopings, right? So, and when I think about the combat system, I could beat up people and like knock them around, but if I messed up, that was my ass, you know?
Yeah.
And even in like the punching and kicking and stuff, I never felt too powerful. I never felt that I had that much of an advantage over everybody else. Like they were talking about with Batman, the only one I played was Arkham City. But again, you just press that square button and just aim, just move the analog stick around. Batman moves around like the fucking Flash, bruh.
Yeah.
He's killing everyone. And he actually hit harder than Spider-Man does.
Oh hell yeah.
Spider-Man he lived 20 tons. But them hits in Arkham, bruh.
Yeah, them shit sounded hard. Like, I really feel bad for those dudes.
Dog, Batman was cracking their body armor. I swear to God.
Yeah.
He was destroying it. They were not safe. But this stands alone from Batman. No, I didn't even feel like I was playing Batman. The only thing comparable is like the actual button configuration. That's it. But
yeah.
Other than that, it stands on its own.
I feel that. I think that the thing that distinguishes itself the most is kind of like what Sean was saying with the just with the counter system, because just like you said, if you hit triangle to counter something, or I guess Y if you're playing on Xbox, which I don't know why you would do that. All right, anyway, if you hit that counter button, like Batman will stop what he's doing to counter him. Or to counter whoever's hitting him. Like, he will go out of his way to counter an attack, even if it really wasn't, like, a threat to hitting him. Whereas in Spider-Man, I really think you have to time it, like, super precise. Or at least, I'm pretty sure it's like that on all difficulties. But, I played the whole thing on Spectacular. And, like, if you weren't precise with those timings, then you're just gonna, like, dodge early and get punished. Like, you really had to, if you just press circle and spam it, you're gonna get hit. Whereas in Arkham, if you can go through an entire fight and just tap triangle, and you're just gonna counter every single move over and over and over again. But like, so I think it really rewards skillful timing, and also it gives you that extra bonus if you dodge with like perfect timing. You know, you like web up the enemy, and then like you can get the upgrade to like hit him with like a one-hit takedown if you web him up.
Yep.
So not only does it require stricter timing, but it like rewards stricter timing. You know. And I think not just with the fighting, but with all the gadgets that he has. Like, there's a lot of I think it has like a bit of a skill gap to it, because like if you're just like doing regular hits, there's a chance that you can get fucked up really easily. But I think the combat system like lends itself in a way where if you really time everything perfectly and incorporate like a bunch of different hits and gadgets into it, that like you can actually like you can get a little crazy with it, and it'll actually look pretty tight.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah. And lastly, just the fact that the part that I love the most about the combat was how the web system works. Like with how it doesn't matter what type of enemy if it is. Like if you can hit them with like a web attack close to a wall or like close to the ground, they'll just be on the ground webbed.
Yep.
Like it doesn't matter. Like it's not like, oh, this enemy takes like you have to web him up like 3 times. Just like it's just like a universal system that just works so that if you can put it together the right way, like you can clear a room relatively easy. So I thought that was really tight, and I understand the comparison because it has to happen, because Arkham really like it kind of laid the blueprint for that, because it's not a bad system. It's a system that that I think does its job, which is just to make you feel like a superhero, because you're supposed to feel OP, like you're whooping everybody's ass. But I think it works good this way for Spider-Man because you don't feel too OP. Because I mean, you know how a character like Batman is, but like with Spider-Man, it's like he's a bit more grounded, a bit more human, so he has to seem a bit more vulnerable. So I think it works out pretty good.
Nah, I feel way too powerful as Spider-Man, bro.
Really?
Like, the first trophy I got in that game was like the one for perfect dodges. I think you need 70 to unlock the trophy or something.
For real?
First thing I got, yeah.
God damn.
My perfect dodging is way too easy to achieve because
I'm not gonna lie. Like after I got it down, perfect dodging, yeah.
Oh yeah. It's not the strictest timing, but like I mean, just the fact that it's there.
Yeah, I feel like that kind of makes sense though, because, and this also goes into like why I think, you know, the Arkham series and the Spider-Man games are not gonna feel similar at all playing. They'll feel similar in the sense that like Charles said, like the button configuration is there, but like number one, and this is something that I should have mentioned earlier, like Spider-Man doesn't get a counter move like at all. You know,
yeah, he doesn't.
Right? So, you know, if someone goes to hit you, it's not like press the button, you get a free smack, and you keep it moving. It's press the button, you don't get shot in the face, and then you have to like run up on them, right?
Yeah, do with what you can.
You know, so that's one major difference between the two. Whereas Batman's like this accomplished martial artist, and so he has like some sort of move for everything. Spider-Man, for real, for like the longest time in the comics was just freestyling all his shit, and so it was all based on like shit that he, you know, saw in wrestling, which he was a big fan of and stuff, until he finally made his own fighting style, which was all based on like his spider sense, which is why I feel like the perfect dodge kind of fits, even with the loose ass timing for it, because like I'm at a point where 80% of my dodges are perfect dodges at this point,
right? Just
because like especially once you get to a certain point in the game, you just have like an odd feel for it, and you just kind of get it routinely.
Oh hell yeah.
You know, and so that kind of makes sense for someone who has like a spider sense that literally makes you like hyper aware of everything around you, to just be able to like dodge everything like that. I think that's part of that fantasy of being Spider-Man, where like you're basically untouchable, you know? So it's like you get that power fantasy in a different sense, instead of being like the raw strength of like Batman, where he's just like, oh, I can break bones and stuff like that. You know, Spider-Man holds back all the time, so it's more like being this super agile, like flippy dude that's just all over the place constantly in a fight. You can dodge onto a wall, then jump off the wall, and then just beam someone.
Yeah.
Like with your entire body, and that's one of my favorite moves to do.
So Damon, overall, did you just find the game too easy?
Yes and no, because there were certain parts where it was like actually challenging. Like for the challenging parts, the base fights, bro. Like especially when you're not. I want to exclude the Sable fight. That's Sable bases for now. The demons, bro.
Oh yeah, they were a
like,
problem.
You take out the ones in the rooftop first. Alright, fine, that's good. You go in, and there's like 5 or 6 ways with them. So like, what I do is I just do the purge takedowns first, and if like I fuck up and boss me, I have to like dodge mad shields, swords, whips, and shit. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go a whole base fights without getting hit on spectacular mode, just to like see how good I am at the game and how hard this actually is.
Just trying to create your own challenges.
Yeah. I want to see if I could play the whole game on a no-hit run.
Nigga.
Because it's definitely possible from what I see.
I mean, well, anything is possible in the WWE, but I don't know about that, dog. This is too long of a game to try that. I'm gonna keep it real. If this was like a Mario game where you're just like, alright, here's my no-hit speed run, but it's like, nigga, I don't know about this. Especially in a game where like we have fucking chip damage, projectiles, guns, grenades, and shit. I'll tell you this though, I would pay to see that speed run. I would pay.
I bet.
If you start streaming your no-hit run on Spectacular of Spider-Man, I will be in your donations.
Bro, if I get hit once, I'ma just shut the stream off.
Oh, nah, you gotta do it like real speedrun shit. As soon as you get hit, you reset, start from the beginning.
Oh lord.
Yeah.
Honestly, I would do. That's a good idea actually.
That is a great idea, but I mean, for your sanity. That'd make for a hell of a YouTube video. You'll probably get like a fucking IGN article or some shit on you. Unless someone's done it before.
I doubt it. Not this early.
Yeah.
I feel like they're like a lot of shitty ass players who play this game. I feel like there's a couple people who have legit problems with the combat because they're that garbage.
Yeah, because I've seen some people and it's just like, alright, this game is not that hard, guys.
I remember the whole Doom gameplay from Kotaku.
Oh my god. It was Polygon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that shit like, it's like, have you ever played a game? Like, that shit was bad. But since we're talking about difficulty, I wanted to bring this up because I've been seeing this shit on Twitter. The puzzles. What you guys think of the puzzles, man?
Yeah, fuck them.
This is easy, bruh.
The easiest fucking puzzles I've ever played in any game.
I can only 5 out of the entire like set of puzzles gave me problems.
I don't think there's any puzzle in this game that gave me problems. There was one, because like usually I just kind of do them without thinking, but like I'll say there were a few of them that maybe like, all right, let me like pay attention and like do some quick maths for a second. Other than that, like they're very straightforward, and they let you skip them.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I wish I would skip a fucking Spider-Man puzzle, bro. That shit was too easy. But the thing I was saying is that apparently people on Twitter like that I've been seeing, they were having problems with this joint. Like having problems with the Spider-Man puzzles, like the little circuit ones, and I'm just like, you can't be serious.
Bro, I don't even pay attention to the numbers.
Exactly.
I just go ahead and make sure everything lines up, and then I just fix whatever doesn't go there.
Right.
That's it.
But it's pretty. I think there was maybe one where I was like, all right, hold on, let me fucking buckle down and get this for a second. But other than that, they're almost not even puzzles. Like they're almost just like there.
Get it done, you know. It's not even like homework. It's just like the towers in the game too, you know. And in the Arkham series, the cryptograph thing was like unnecessary because you had to like do the thing like 2 or 3 times in a row to unlock something. Mm-hmm. But like in this joint, it's just like matched up and you're good, you know? Yeah,
it's low-key busy work if we're being honest.
Yeah.
It's just a thing to do. Mm-hmm. So no one had trouble with any of the puzzles?
No, I didn't.
Alright, I was just making sure, bro, because like I saw this. Yeah, the jump where it was like these 2K only playing niggas trying to figure out these Spider-Man puzzles. Dude, this dude that I knew just a couple days ago, you might still see it on my Twitter. He screenshotted one of the circuit puzzles. He was like, man, Spider-Man, John, get me to work right now. I was like, dog, you cannot be serious. You cannot be dead ass over these fucking circuit puzzles, dude. Sorry, I just want to make sure we was all on the same page.
Like the image of circuits just confused people. Like, what is this? You know, like they were more confused by the imagery than they were the actual math problem.
And see, that's what I think threw people off, because if you play any of the other Spider-Man games, it wasn't no shit like that.
Yeah. None of them really emphasized how smart he was.
Oh, hell no. That's because Tobey Maguire was a fucking dweeb.
He at least nailed the Peter aspect of it.
He did.
I mean, can you nail the Peter aspect without really showing off how intelligent he is? Because, like, he's basically, like, young Tony Stark. He's not that smart, but he's, like, extremely smart for, like, a character in the Marvel Universe.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck I got next on this list? The story. What did y'all think of this story? Because this shit, it caught me by surprise. I really wasn't expecting, excuse me, I wasn't really expecting, like, such a deep story.
Yeah, man.
And a superhero game?
A whole essay on that story, bro. Like,
this shit was a fucking drama, bro.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, I'm like, this is how I go. I didn't give a fuck about the story until they killed Miles' dad.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, Hold up. What?
Exactly. Yeah, that shit
That
threw me.
whole terrorist attack scene, bro. Oh shit. Yeah, that
Like,
whole
did these
terrorist
niggas real life die?
Yeah, that you know what? You're right, because that's when I was like, oh, okay, so the stakes are high, because like we killing niggas, huh?
Bro, like his dad shielded somebody from the explosion, and even at that point, even though he was at the nucleus of the blast radius, like when he was there, I was like, man, he gonna be alright, man.
Yeah. Oh no, I knew that nigga was dead. I was like, oh, they about to use this nigga as a plot device.
No. I was like, yeah, no, I get it, right?
Yeah.
But I was like, if that made me question, like, okay, are they really gonna do this? Because that nigga should be dead. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, I feel that.
And then you switch to Miles, and you're like, where my daddy?
This nigga dead.
Find him. And then my man just in pieces over there, bro.
Yeah, that was fucked up.
I just want to say I'm kind of surprised that it took you till damn near halfway through the game till you care about the story, but I'm just gonna lead out with where it is.
Look, man, I'm not a Spider-Man guy.
I mean,
Oh, who's your superhero, Charles? Who's your guy? If you're not a Spidey guy,
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever asked you this question.
I'm not a comic book guy.
Oh, okay, I feel you.
I never really. I don't think I've read damn near any story all the way through.
Oh, I haven't either. I just fucked with Spider-Man.
Nah, like Sean's read like cover to cover, like an entire like arc of Spider-Man story.
Oh shit.
Right?
Yeah.
I've never done that with anything. I watch shows. I watch Batman animated series, the X-Men animated series, Spider-Man animated series, like all the stuff in like the 90s, early 2000s. I watched all of that, and that's where my knowledge of comics came from. Anything else, I just looked it up online, but I never read a story all the way through.
Yeah, like I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Don't know if anyone knows that because I actually read
nigga, we know.
Line. I read the entire Ultimate Line of comics minus like volume 8.
Nerd. Nah, I'm playing.
Bro, fuck Ultimate.
That's the only one I'm missing because a friend from high school pirated all of the Ultimate series and then was like, yeah, I have it on the flash drive. I was like, give it to me.
Hey.
And I marathoned it for like 2 weeks and I finished the entire thing. It was a lot of reading.
Sounds like it.
But it was the Ultimate series is really good, and you can tell they built that whole universe around Spider-Man. But I digress. As far as when I realized that the story was gonna go to this dark place and not leave this dark place was when he got back with the cure. Cause like I already saw Miles' dad die. Like the second he hopped up, I was like, oh, you done.
Yeah.
Because the thing is like, Marvel has like this really weird thing where they like kill off black characters to kick off the story.
For real?
Yeah, so in the original Civil War in the comics, Giant Man, who is a black dude with Hank Pym's formula, but he just gets big. That's it. That's his only thing. He just grows. He doesn't go small, he just gets bigger.
Alright.
He dies to kick off Civil War, right? And then Civil War 2, Rhodey, who is about to be running for president, he's about to be running for president and endorsed by Barack. He ends up dying at the beginning of Civil War 2, and I'm like,
I'm noticing a pattern.
come on, bruh. Who else is finna die? Like,
God damn.
come on, dog. Like, and it's just really weird, like tons of these different black characters are just kind of like plot devices, and it's not like Marvel's racist thing. It's just like it's like a trend. It's like who's gonna die in the scary movie kind of thing. Like it's gonna be the black guy. So when Miles' dad died, I was like, oh yeah, that's finished. He's done.
Yeah.
But when Aunt May didn't get up, I was like, yo.
Oh man, let's talk about that, bro. They took me the fuck there, bro. Yeah. They ain't had to do that to me.
I got something to say about that, bro.
Oh, let's hear it.
I like this. I like the story because they have the balls to kill off Aunt May and have it stick. They're gonna have it stick. not gonna be like the comic where that shit's undone by the end of the run. That she's gone, bro. Like she ain't coming back.
No, she gone.
Yeah, she dirt than a bitch.
But I don't read a lot of these. They don't explore that a lot. Cause shit.
You're cutting out
Peter's
again,
in high school. God damn it. Yeah, Peter's in high school. Ame is there, and yeah. So this game has some guts, killing her off.
I will say that they got some balls, cause when I saw May on that deathbed, I was like, bitch, if you fucking die, I'ma have a problem with this game, bro. I cannot believe it. They that took some courage. That took some fucking courage to do that shit.
Took some real balls. Go
No,
ahead.
oh yeah, especially to make him have to fucking choose between. I mean, we don't get to choose, but like, he was pretty close to saying fuck the rest of the world and giving May that cure.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, damn, Spider-Man, are you about to do the one to save millions, or you about to save your aunt? And I think it was great that they showed that she knew that he was Spider-Man all along, because like that they've always hinted at that in like the movies, but they never really expanded on that. I'm sure they have in the comics.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I've ever seen anything like that, and that shit, I ain't gonna lie, nigga, I almost teared up, bro. That shit hit me.
Yeah, that caught me, because like seeing it happen, like where he had to make that choice. You just see like Spider-Man's always gonna be above bullshit. Like he's not gonna be, he ain't gonna be off no Peter Quill type shit.
Yeah, he's not gonna be selfish.
From Infinity, I'm still mad about Infinity War. That he had the joke in his head. Thanos had to put anyways.
He's not the real villain of that movie. It's somebody else. We gonna get into that later. Cause yeah,
it was really different to see like this comic book game go somewhere like real. Because I'm not gonna lie, in the Batman games, like I never felt like anybody was really in danger.
I didn't either.
Number one, the city was never populated with people. Like
no.
In Arkham Asylum, all right, no people. That's cool. We should have had a few like workers running around trying to save themselves, but that's whatever. I can chalk it up to the fact that Skeleton Crew, Joker's coming in, whatever.
Right.
Arkham City, that was a city of inmates. Fine, Arkham Knight.
Yeah, I don't know what the excuse was there.
We evacuated the city prior to. Come on, bro.
Yeah, like they're making excuses at this point.
Yeah, like wow. If the city is evacuated of all civilians, why does it matter if the shit goes off?
Right.
Gas the whole city. Who gonna die?
Nobody, because you fucking got rid of everybody. Yeah, that shit didn't make sense to me.
And they're just like, oh, but it'll blow down the eastern seaboard. Don't you got a super nigga that can like funnel that shit?
Basically.
In a number of different directions. Like, come on, y'all funny. Y'all funny. But like, when Octavius broke that vial and people, I was like, yo, what?
Yeah, like
we actually doing this. Like, we for real doing this.
The stakes actually feel high because like you see people get affected.
Yeah,
like,
I love like Batman running around the city that's empty by himself,
and it's always fucking nighttime.
Right. It's
I don't think I've ever seen the sun in a Batman story.
For real.
I've never seen it, yo.
I love the whole bits where New York goes to complete shit and everybody's like going for your life.
Yeah, like you can't even be on the street anymore.
I can't even roll a piece.
Oh my god.
Another thing that's kind of cool is how that there's like this slow progression throughout the game. Like if you just walk on the street at different points of the game, just different things happen. So at first, if you walk on the street like, oh, it's chill, nothing's really going down. And then after a little bit, Fisk's men, they come after you like one or two. Then you got the inner demons just pulling up.
Yeah.
And it just keeps getting more severe, and you're just like, oh, well,
maybe I should be swinging.
and then even when you're swinging, it's just like, oh, I'm not safe.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, because the fucking skills could be like sniping you off the fucking sky.
Yeah. I think a close runner-up for saddest thing in this game's story was the very slow progression of seeing like Octavius like slowly lose his mind and like go insane. Man. That shit hurt me, bro. That shit hurt me for real.
I'm sitting there like, Doc.
Bro, that's exactly how I was feeling. I was like, Doc, please.
Yo. And you just, there's nothing you can do because everything that happened between him and Norman, it's already set in stone.
Yeah.
And Norman wasn't gonna let up.
He wasn't.
Speaking of Norman, that nigga is a bona fide. Like, why? At the end, this man literally has you dead to rights, right? Gun to the face, bullet in the chamber. I will kill you right here and now. And Norman says, "You was always a bitch. You was a bitch. And you ain't never, ever gonna be nothing more than a bitch."
He went hard as fuck, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. He did not care.
He didn't care. Like, he didn't care. He was ready to go out.
He really was. Spider-Man should have let his ass fall.
Right.
Bro, honestly, like, why save him?
I don't understand why he did.
And that make no sense at all.
Osborn
He gonna do the right
did
thing.
not give 2 fucks. He didn't give 2 fucks.
He really didn't. He was like, nigga, you wasn't never shit. He basically said Octavius was like, I'm about to fucking kill you. Any last words? And Cuz was like, you ain't shit.
that was the most like G shit I've ever seen in my life. Like, this man real life just did not care.
He really didn't.
I can't, like, that's one of the few times in the game or in any story where someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna kill you," and like they don't just cry. They're just like, "All right, if you gonna do it, go ahead, do it." But I just want you to know, you a bitch.
Basically,
right, fuck you bald ass. All you ever wanted to do was be me.
The plane you flew in on,
nigga, and do something yourself.
He did say that. He said you always wanted to be me, nigga. Fuck you. Oh my god, he did Ock dirty.
Nah, but I like that because that's true. To that, you know, he didn't break character.
He didn't, cause it's not like him to act like a bitch.
Nah.
Yo, what got me about Doc Ock is like, so you know how he's on the table, right?
Yeah.
And like Peter leaves him to get arrested.
Yeah.
My theory is this dude is probably gonna lose his whole memory, but he's still gonna hate Spider-Man, but won't remember why. And that shit hurt, honestly.
Yeah. I almost cried, dog, because you could really tell that like he loved him like a son, and Peter loved this man, bruh.
Yeah.
He really did, but he knew that like he couldn't forgive him, and he couldn't, like, when it got to the point where he basically was like, if you save me, I'll keep your secret because I know who you are. And Peter, he was just like, I don't even care, bro. He was just like, I can't forgive this. Like, that's when I was like, damn, this nigga Peter is really done, and it's really sad. Because I was rooting for this nigga Ock the whole time, bro, but like,
yeah,
it's like,
yeah, niggas gotta do what he gotta do, man. You know?
Yeah.
But that nigga Norman, but nah, he
got people hurt.
At the end, the very end, it wasn't like, Peter, you were a son of me. It was, I'm gonna use our relationship to avoid jail time.
Yeah.
He wasn't out of love no more.
Not at all. And then again, he kinda killed Aunt May.
Kinda.
Right.
Indirectly.
Yeah, he indirectly killed Aunt May.
No,
But,
I think this nigga knew because Peter literally said, like, the first part where he said you knew was like out of surprise.
Yeah.
And the second time he said it was the shit up was like, bro, this nigga was pissed. He
was hurt.
Yeah, at that point he just said, nah, fuck that. You gotta catch the train.
He beat living shit out of him too when he found out.
Oh yeah. That was maybe one of the better boss fights.
Mm-hmm. Which
Which is a good segue into boss fights. What did you think of these bosses, bro? Because I'm a little mixed. On these bosses.
I like the Kingpin boss fight.
Honestly, I felt like they could have been harder.
Yeah. What was your favorite boss, Charles?
My favorite boss? Honestly, bro, I don't think I have a favorite, man. They all kind of felt the same.
For real?
I figured out how to beat the boss too quickly,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was rinse and repeat. So I never felt like I was in danger. And any time that I failed the boss fight, I was mad at myself. And
Yeah.
not like, oh man, this is hard. I actually enjoy the base fights more than I do the boss battles.
Mm.
And that's one thing that I was a little disappointed about, because like I said, the only boss fight that I felt was challenging was the shotgun fight, and I feel like it was only because I didn't know how to play the game yet.
Once you learn.
Yeah, I didn't master how to move around and jump around as Spidey, but once I did, excuse me, everything else was easy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I got to Vulture and Electro and Rhino and Scorpion, I beat those like damn near on the first try. Like I died a couple times, but it didn't take me fairly long to beat them. Because you know what I think it was? I don't think the boss fights were layered enough.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. I think it is you figure out how to attack them, then you just rinse and repeat, and they don't do anything to stop that attack. So you can get rid of them. It's just whittling down their health, and that's very boring to me. But the game is so great in every other aspect that you kind of just get through it, so you can get to the next side mission or the next part of the story. But they are the lowlights of the game for me.
Mm-hmm. So, Sean, what did you think about the boss fights?
I think the only boss fight that ever really stood out was the Doc Ock fight at the end, because of the second stage when Peter was like standing on that building like doing Muay Thai and beating his ass. But I agree with Charles. Like the boss fights were just like pattern recognition, and whenever you lose, it's more just like, I should have seen that. Like you saw it coming the entire time that you were gonna take this L, and you didn't avoid it, and you just kind of feel mad with yourself. And it's not even like, oh, the game cheated me, or I just didn't expect that move. It's like that was just it, So I didn't really feel like I was fighting the bosses. More, I was just like pressing the buttons to get past it to the next cutscene.
Yeah.
It always felt it all felt super simple. And I wish there had been more like physical altercation with each of the villains on their own. Like out of all the boss fights, the ones that feel the best to me are the Doc Ock fight, and the Shocker Chase fight is kind of interesting because it's the only one that does anything different. But the Vulture Electro fight was interesting because I felt like I was fighting them. Like I felt like I was having an actual battle to the death, with these two men versus like the Scorpio Electro or the Scorpio Rhino one, where Scorpion's just kind of like shooting me with like nasty goo, and Rhino's just being Russian and angry. And I'm just kind of like, oh, I guess this is it. That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, can I interject real quick before you go, Damon?
Go for it.
I think the best boss fight, and this is a lesser boss fight, but your fight, if you did the Taskmaster challenges, you did enough of them and he showed up, you would actually fight Taskmaster. And since his whole thing is like, pattern recognition, you have to rethink how you attack. You can't use webs on him. You have to like counter attack him. And I thought that was the only time that they made me rethink how I had to play. I only played against him once, but I remember that. Whereas all the other boss fights, I can't even remember all of them. The Taskmaster one, for his little side missions, I feel like that was a step in the direction I think they need to take in the future, in the future of Spider-Man games.
Damn, I didn't even like finish his shit, so I didn't even fight him. But I guess I gotta do that now because that sounds tight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, Damon, what did you think about the boss fights? And if you have a favorite, which one was it?
All right, so I agree with Charles because felt way too. It didn't really feel like a boss fight because you were just pressing buttons and like following the QTs and stuff. And like the worst offender was the Rhino fight because all you have to do is get the nigga under the fucking containers and the mash triangle and stuff. But
yeah.
And the margin of error for that is so big. Like,
right.
Yeah, he doesn't even really have to be underneath it.
yeah, as soon as you start, like, this slows down and waits for him to get there.
Yeah,
I feel like they're hand holding.
a little bit.
Yeah, they were. But my favorite part was when. My favorite part was the last half of the auto fights when you're like on the side of the building.
Yeah.
And shit got intense, bro. You're just like killing him. You even ripped off his arm. But a close second for me is the Tombstone.
Ooh, I didn't fight him.
Yeah. Tombstone. Yeah. That's my second favorite as well.
Yeah, but I feel like his story was under and it just shoves you straight in.
So it seems like they saved all the best boss fights for the side missions.
Pretty much. Yeah, I had never heard of Tombstone before that. And as soon as I, learned, a little bit about what it's about, I was like, yo, I need more of this, man. I need some DLC for Tombstone. I need to know, like, where he came from and, like, how his powers work. Like, this man is literally a block of concrete.
Yeah, the Tombstone was hella fun.
Now I gotta fight this nigga Tombstone, bro. Oh my gosh.
Right. I got all the extra stuff.
Now y'all see why we were playing the side missions.
Exactly.
Game.
I'm on my spectacular playthrough. I'm gonna 100% the game. So, as far as that goes, I'm definitely gonna do everything this time. I'm gonna play it all. Like, I'm taking care of all the Kingpin bases right now, and I only have one left that I'm gonna continue to sort.
I finished all the Kingpin and the Demon bases. I just had to finish the Sable.
I like 60% of that shit. Like, I still have a lot more shit to play. As far as bosses go, I think we're all on one accord on it. I think they were fun. They were just pretty one note. Like, it's just like you said, it follows a pattern. Like, you figure out what it is you have to do, and it usually involves dodging something and then pressing triangle to web into them and hit them. And like even the best boss was basically that. I think the auto fight was, I guess I would say that's the best one, just because it was dramatic and it was set up nicely, like nice set pieces and shit like that, and it was like a decent build up to it thematically, story wise and shit. The boss fight that I liked the most was the Vulture and Electro fight, just because and this is like a personal thing for me, but I always thought the dynamic of Spider-Man fighting a flying enemy and having to swing to keep up with him is like, I always thought that was like a really interesting dynamic, which I guess is why I like Green Goblin as an enemy for Spider-Man, because it's like you have to catch up to him on his glider. So having to deal with like two enemies that can fly and like to swing to keep up with them, and like most of the fight is happening in the air, it was like more of a mix-up from all the other shit, because it's still basically dodging something and web striking to them to get the hits, but it's like at least you're adding the dimension of trying to swing and get in for the hits too. Like, it's not just you're on the ground doing the same shit, which is why that one stood out for me. But yeah, I'd say Auto was the best one, just because of how great it was set up. But very close second would be Vulture and Electro. That was definitely one of the weakest points. Not the weakest for me, because there was some other shit that we're gonna get to in a second that I thought this game could have been better at. But
for me, the entire Sinister Six part after you're
cutting out again, dude.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right. So for me, taking down the Sinister Six was kind of weak, because it felt too quick, you know.
Yeah, because they grouped them together.
Yeah, and you never see these niggas again either.
No bullshit, like they're gone forever after that.
Yeah.
I'd say looking back, Rhino and Scorpion could have been so much cooler.
Yeah, man. Rhino is such a waste to me, bro. Like,
yeah.
he literally just charges straight ahead, and you can either dodge left, right, or up.
Basically.
And
I just want like a good old fashioned boss fight for real. I just want to like beat the shit out of.
Did it bother you that there were no health meters for the bosses?
Personally, I'm fine without the health bars, but what I would have preferred instead is if like, so this is coming from a person who's played like a good amount of Monster Hunter, not a lot, not like I'm an expert at it, but I played enough of it to the point where those fights are like super, like every single monster in that game is like a boss battle, like a real boss battle. Everybody has unique moves, and it's not necessarily about what you're using as far as tools, it's more in how you approach the fight. So I feel like that's how any boss battle should be designed, where it's less, you know, how, what tools you want to use as Spider-Man to take care of this villain. It's more how you approach it. So like Rhino should have been like a really tough upfront fight, you know, where it's just this overwhelmingly strong person who, like, you can put a dent in him and he can feel your punches, but he's just stronger than you. So it should feel like that rather than like this dude who just runs in a direction and hits stuff and then runs in a new direction and then hits other stuff.
Right.
And like Scorpion should have felt like just as agile as you are, you know, except he has a tail, so he has like this extra thing that he can use to poison you if you get too close and you do too much up close damage, you know, like all those things that, you know, you get in a Monster Hunter fight where it implies things about how that particular monster, like, you know, hunts prey and how it eats and blah blah blah. You should have got that from these fights too. It should have implied things about how they've, you know, fought Spider-Man in the past, that they're, you know, acting in this particular fashion, how, you know, they have taken an approach to kind of learning how to combat their greatest foe better, you know. The boss battles don't add anything to the characters, right? It's like how they say when you like write dialogue for something, like everything the character says should add to them.
Right.
It's kind of like everything this character does as far as like action, you know, and in terms of like fighting, should also add that same amount of context to who they are too.
Right.
So that's just.
Nah, I feel that like you have to make sure that these iconic villains feel iconic, and they really kind of just felt like niggas in costumes for real at a lot of points. But so yeah, I think we're all in agreement that was one of the weaker sides of it, but it doesn't, you know, kill the experience, but it definitely was a missed opportunity with these boss fights. Because I can think of the Rhino fight in Ultimate Spider-Man, and that was like leagues better than how they had Rhino just fucking running into walls like an idiot.
Yeah, or like the like, I forget his name, but like that beetle dude in Ultimate Spider-Man.
Yeah, the flying beetle guy.
Yeah, that
shit was
traumatic.
It really is.
I had so much difficulty beating it because it's so hard to fight.
It was like this big flying red and black looking beetle that like shot bombs and lasers and shit.
Like silver and red.
Yeah.
You fought him at night primarily, except for like one time where he tried to catch Venom during the day. But you're playing as Peter and you're trying to like make him not catch Venom, so you're fighting him, and then a few times you fight him as Venom too. But it's a lot. Like he plays no games.
I never got to play that game, man.
Do yourself a favor and go back and play that shit.
Yeah, give it a try. See if you can like get it on an emulator or something, because it's like a original Xbox game, so you should be able to emulate it on, you know, anything for real.
Use it on Dolphin. You get the GameCube version. I got a link. I don't even have a link to the ISO. I have it on my computer, so I can hook you up with that.
Bet.
But yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man's great. I honestly think it's better than Spider-Man 2, but we're gonna have that talk a little later, Damon. But yeah, so the next aspect, I guess, since we're talking about parts that were a little bit weaker, I think not even just us, like everyone's all in agreement that this was one of the parts of the games that we really would have did without. What did you feel about these side missions? Well, not side missions. The missions where you don't play as Peter Parker, and you play as either Miles Morales or Mary Jane.
That shit.
So Charles, what you think?
Yeah, you go first.
Damn. So 2 things. I got so you get so used to playing Spider-Man that playing as anyone else, it makes you just angry that you're not Spider-Man. Now, that's one thing. I can deal with that, right? I'm like, damn, I'm not Spider-Man. Then you add on the fact that I gotta be fuck-ass, bitch-ass Mary Jane, who just doesn't know how to stay out of fucking trouble. I can't deal with that. Every time I use her, I want to just jump off of a building so that I can kill her and get back to playing Spider-Man. Like, I really don't like that. You know, and that's a story thing. But other than that, let me get my mini rant out the way. But yeah, it was interesting. It was interesting having to be a regular person and navigate around. You can't attack people, otherwise, you know, the mission's over. But for the most part, I was basically, a depowered Spider-Man. We did the same thing. Took pictures, used technology. You hid around. That was a a more traditional RPG element. You know, like hiding behind cover and stuff. But yeah, it was. I can't go as far as saying it wasn't needed in the game, but I don't think it was groundbreaking anyway.
Yeah, I feel that. Damon, let's talk about it.
Oh, I dreaded playing as Mary Jane all night. Like, it's to the point where I get legit upset. Like, I just want a web thing, bro. I don't want to fucking sneak around me power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I just suck. Yo, those are like the least.
You
But
good?
That's all I have on it.
So you could just do without it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say personally, bruh, I think those points in the game are welcome, and I understand where the game was going because they're building a story and they're trying to incorporate more than just being Spider-Man and, build other characters. So I'll say this, the sneaking sections, because I don't care that I'm playing as Miles or Mary Jane, it's just the fact that, I'm sneaking. It's definitely jarring to go from web swinging high very like fast-paced action into being forced to slow everything down to a crawl. But I think I was just like, okay, that's cool, because you're doing a bit of world building, introducing like new aspects of characters. However, I think that shit should have stopped after like 2 times. But there are like a good 6 sections of that game where you have to stop and slow down and sneak, and at some point it gets a little bit annoying, especially coming from web swinging.
Bro, the last mission with not the last Mary Jane sequence, but when they have Devil's Breath, right?
Yeah.
They're in the bank, bro. When Spider-Man was literally there. But
we just had to watch.
Oh my god, I wanted to throw my controller, bro. Like,
Nah.
They're like, oh, I can't get in. Can you help me? Distract that guard, or like, what? Come on now. Tell me what you did. I'm like, bro, I don't need this. I can just be Spider-Man doing this.
Right.
Hey,
Sean.
Ari, I have one thing to say about this.
Yeah, go for it.
For the bank. Wait, no, it's the Grand Central Station part where you have to
Yeah.
watch Spider-Man Web of People.
Yeah.
Look up, and you're gonna see this nigga despawn.
Oh yeah, he just disappears.
Oh no.
Yeah, if you follow him, because he'll like do the web thing and pull them all the way up, and then he'll be on the ceiling, and then he'll just be like, and go away. He just like disappears.
That's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, I it's funny that you saw that, because I definitely was like, I wonder if they just have this nigga chilling on the ceiling. No, fucking evaporates. So what did you think, Sean, of the glorious sneaking missions?
Oh man. So, number one, I just want to point out that in my playthrough, the Rhino sneaking mission was slightly broken, because there was one point where he ran to the other side of the room to find me, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll just walk over to the thing since you're not there. And then he ran to the other side. Now he's on the side of the room with me, and I'm like, oh, this sucks.
I think that same thing happened to me too.
And then I just gotta walk past him anyway.
Yeah.
It was dumb.
Bro, I
It
got
was so
around
dumb.
one of them freight, whatever they are. Those tanks, not tanks, crates. I call them crates. That's the only thing right now. But yeah, I got around him the first time. Then I turned the corner, and he's in front of me on the other side. And I run to one side on the right. He runs to me, and then he runs behind me. Then I, curl around, get to the next side. Then I'm like, oh shit, he's about to turn around. And I'm thinking at this point he sees me, and I'm in clear view of him.
Right.
He'll be able to see me, but he doesn't see me. And then I run back to the set of boxes behind me, and I'm right next to him on his left. We're right next to each other. And I'm like, okay, he's gonna move. The nigga doesn't move. Nope. I sat there for 10 minutes. He did not move. So I was like, so I'm just supposed to just walk out in front of this man? And that's what I did. He didn't see me. And I was just like, what is going on?
Yeah, I think what they should have done, instead of having us play as Miles or Mary Jane during these stealth sections, I kind of agree. Like, after the first one or two sections is them, just so we can see like, oh, this is what normal people go through in these situations.
Right.
Like, okay, fine. We've now established how much easier Peter has it in situations where you got to deal with niggas, and at the same time we've also established the amount of danger that he's in because these niggas are real, right? But at the same fucking time, right, it would have been better if they had built extra stealth mechanics into this game and just had us play as Peter for that. Because if y'all remember the art museum, after the art museum, right, where you had to sneak through vents and stuff, you don't do that again. You do that maybe once more, and in the Grand Central Station, right, when you're really required to be quiet, because every other part of the game, anytime you have to do that whole Batman style stealthily take everybody down, you don't actually have to stealth it. I got tired of doing that, and I just jumped down, and just to test how good I was at the combat, I just beat the shit out of everybody and then webbed them all together, and I was like, all right, let's continue the story now, right? So yeah, they should have just put more stealth mechanics to the game, so we could feel how actually stealthy a character like Spider-Man would be, because he can stick to walls, so he doesn't really make much noise when he moves around, right? He can web people up, he's the strongest shit, come on, bruh, he can do stuff. He can do stuff and things with his various gadgets, abilities, and powers. Show us how he can, handle these problems in an interesting fashion. Give us access to some ability we wouldn't think he'd use. For example, he can stick any part of his body to a wall, so maybe he just fucking starts, I don't know, doing some weird shit with that. I don't know, maybe instead of Batman, for example, he has to break the grates open and stuff to get into it. Maybe if Peter's trying to make less noise, he just puts his hand on a grate and you just have to rip it off. Like, and he's not even like pulling it. He's just stuck to it. I don't know. Anything more interesting than playing as Miles and trying to not step on broken glass.
Exactly. And they try to trip you up too. Like they have big ass piles of that shit.
Yeah, just like out in the open. My only thing is like, I just didn't like how they were just putting Mary Jane in these dumbass situations for no reason. Because it's like, why the fuck would she continue to sneak into enemy compounds with no guns in the name of fucking journalism? Like, what?
Here's what pissed me off. So, right after you beat Rhino, they just throw you into a Mary Jane mission. It's like the game goes from 100 back to in like a couple seconds.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. It's jarring. Like, it really takes you out of the immersion. It's ridiculous. I don't like how they, like, put that shit after the end of a long cutscene. But don't put that shit of just like, I just beat Rhino, I'm swinging around. It's just like, oh, now I'm being careful. And it fucks around and makes you impatient. Because you're just like, let me get back to Spider-Manning. And for some of those, you can't be impatient. Like, I got fucked up a couple times as Mary Jane because I was being like, bruh, can I just get over with this? I just didn't like that they were fishing for reasons to have Mary Jane sneak into shit. Like, why the fuck was well, no, like, I can almost understand Miles sneaking into that compound to get the medicine because, like, he had already gone through the thing where he had met Spider-Man, he grew some balls. I think that was by the time that he fought the dude, or maybe not, I'm not sure, but, like, he had, like, developed more as, like, okay, I'm gonna help out and make a difference. But, like, Mary Jane, she is just, like, going into an army compound with a fucking pen and paper talking about, let me get this scoop. Like, that shit just didn't make any sense.
Yeah, like, she was really on her Lois Lane shit. But to kind of add on to that Miles thing, like, it also didn't help that he was pretty much the only healthy, like, person in there that really knew what was going on, because May was coming down with the sickness.
Right.
Half the homeless people couldn't really do anything because I guess they're homeless, so that makes them stupid. I don't know.
Basically.
No offense to any homeless people.
Well, I mean, that's how they treated them.
Yeah, it's how they treated them in the game. Just like, they're homeless people, so they're dumb. They can't help you.
It really made them seem like they were fucking useless.
Right, like, you could definitely get a group of homeless people to help you find out where some medical supplies is. I'm pretty sure they would know better than anyone else, having, you know, lived on the streets before. But, yeah, no, Mary Jane's entire character pissed me off the entire game. Because she's doing shit just to prove that she's, like, this super plucky, independent woman. And it's kind of like, okay, I get it. You know, you're an independent woman. I'm not saying you're not, but, like, bitch, these niggas got guns. You're not bulletproof, and I'm not even bulletproof. So I really don't want you get into situations that I could die in. Because Peter, real life, could just take a bullet to the face and be done. Right? Basically,
yeah. If Peter gets shot in the face, he's just fucking dead.
He's just dead. He's not invulnerable. Like, he can take a lot of blunt force trauma, but, like, anything that could pierce is just gonna fuck him up. Like, come on, bro. And she's out here, Peter, you just gonna tell me to go home? Yes, bitch, because I would go home if I didn't have these powers.
Exactly. Like, I wouldn't be out here if I couldn't fucking whoop niggas' asses.
Exactly.
Shit ain't make no sense.
You need to get the fucking food, dog.
It's even worse because she's doing it to prove that she doesn't need to be saved by Peter, but, like, ends up having to get saved by Peter.
And then does
every single time.
That's what happened the whole fucking game.
Yeah. It's just that bitch putting herself in danger. But, I mean, that's how it be. I mean, you gotta create suspense. I think they just should have cut out at least, like, a good 4 of those little sections, and that would have been good. Like, we didn't need all of them. And I would kind of be like, I'm having fun as Spider-Man, but then in the back of my mind, I was like, they better maybe do a fucking sneaking mission, dog. It's gonna kill me. I was like, well, say goodbye to the fun. But nah, it was okay for like 10 minutes. Okay, so as far as, there's another thing that kind of I was a little indifferent about. There's a lot of shit to collect in this game. Like, you'll definitely be busy after you beat it, and like while you're playing the story, you'll be busy. Like, I don't think anyone will play this game and do 100% just the story and never do anything on the side, because I mean there's a lot of stuff to do and collect in this game. How did you guys feel about the collectibles? Because I had a bit of a problem with them, like the backpacks for instance. It's like they're just on the map, like they're collectible, right? And you got to collect like I can't even remember how many of them are. There's a lot of them, but it's like you can just like hit a button to show exactly where it is, not only on the map but just like right in front of you. So it was like, I don't know, some of them just made me feel like this isn't really a collectible because I don't have to look for it. It's just like swing here to get this. But how did you feel about it, Damon, with the collectibles?
For the backpacks, I only did it to unlock the suits I want, so I'm not even actively collecting them because that shit's boring. But the landmark ones, they're interesting because they let you find shit like Avengers Tower, the sound, even the raft. I don't have to get there though. That shit's hard anyway.
Yeah, I don't know how you get there either.
You know, you just have to take a picture of it from like where you are, and that's good.
Oh, deadass?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
I don't even know.
Oh shit! I thought you get to go over there.
Nah, I've done every single one of the I've done so on my new playthrough. Like I said, I was going 100%. I've done all the backpacks and all the landmarks. I just finished the Kingpin joints like right now. So yeah, all you gotta do is just take a picture of it from somewhere with a good view of the raft, and you're straight.
Oh wow.
Damn. I thought you had to be fucking close. I'm an idiot.
But yeah,
I actually made a game of it and tried to not touch the ground or any like rooftop. Like I really tried to be like mid swing every time I took a picture.
I did that too. That was lit. That's actually pretty tight that they let you do that. Them pictures be blurry as shit though.
No, because if you zoom in when you take the picture, it slows down time. So I was like, all right, cool. I guess this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. But yeah, what were you saying, Damon?
yeah. So it's I can't even say it's fun. It's like sort of tedious.
Yeah, to unlock
like,
everything.
Yeah, you get like a nice ass reward for it, so it's worth it.
That's where I was kind of torn at, because like the backpacks specifically, because that's the only thing I really collected. I did a bunch of landmarks too, but like I didn't do all the bases and all the other shit. But like as far as the backpacks went, it's like I can kind of let it go, because even though it's just going to point to point to point to get something, it's so fun to get everywhere in that game that it's like I can't really be upset at it, because the swinging is so fun, and it's so fun just to maneuver in the city that it's like I guess I can forgive it.
I just wish the
Say that again?
I said I just wish the map was bigger. The map feels smaller than like GTA 5.
I wish I had 2 more boroughs, man.
Right.
Honestly.
For real?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I don't mind swinging around, but I feel like I'd encircled the entire map like 5 times.
Probably more than that. And I kind of understand that sentiment, but at the same time, like with how much detail is put into this map, I can see why they didn't make it any bigger, because I feel like it would blow up the PlayStation.
No bullshit.
Like, PlayStation's out here screaming playing this game.
Yeah, like mine. Bitch sound like a jet about to fucking take off.
Play it, it's just,
That joke be screaming, bro.
Nah, my fan be blowing up every time I launch.
Bro, as soon as you hit the little screen with the picture sprites, it's like, I'm like, damn, dog. I'm like, alright, bro. I had to crank the volume up on my speakers really loud because like I couldn't hear the dialogue. I gotta open that PS4 up and blow that fan out one day.
And that's and it'd be hard as shit too.
Yeah, I get a little concerned. I peeped that too. Like so I basically had my PS4 sitting on my desk, and I didn't know that I had like a bottle of like a small little thing of lotion behind the PS4. So like I was playing it for a minute, and then I grabbed it. Boy, like the lotion like basically melted.
Yo.
Like it was, I had like a thing full of hot lotion, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Like this is ridiculous. Like that shit is a fucking nuclear submarine on my desk, bro. Like,
Didn't about the bottle itself?
yeah, the bottle felt warm, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't realize like I had a fucking fluid behind it, and then I was just like, let me see if this actual lotion is hot, and the lotion was hot. Like hot in my hand and like runny because it was melting inside of that bottle.
Yo, I legit had chocolate milk before, bro. So.
Oh shit.
Like I told you, you can fry an egg on a PlayStation when you run in Spider-Man. Dog.
You really can. Any fucking game at this point.
Real shit.
How did you think of? Oh shit, nah, Charles. What did you think about the collectibles?
I like collectibles. That's just like when I play an RPG. That's the one thing I go for, and that's what I spend the most of my time on. That's why it took me to finish the game, because I like getting distracted and just going around and collecting stuff. So I had no problem with them. I did the first thing I finished was the backpacks because they were the most at the time. I still got to finish the landmarks. Only got a few left. But yeah, I just enjoy it, man.
Okay.
I enjoy the scenic route.
I feel that. But you didn't like have a problem with like them being too easy to get.
No, I see your point about the backpacks, in that if you just came across one, and then from that point, it was like, oh yeah, these are around the city. Go find them, but they didn't tell you where they were. You'd have to actually put some effort into thinking about like, okay, where would he stash a backpack, as Spider-Man, and then you start it makes you start thinking, and you have to think outside the box to figure it out. But they put so many in there that I wasn't mad that they kind of handheld us, because that would have been a bitch to look for 55.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, you would have to look up a fucking walkthrough to find all them Jones if they didn't. I just wish they wouldn't. I'm fine with them putting them on the map. I didn't like that if you hit the button to like scan, it'll show you exactly where it is on a building. Like, they have a little sensor on it where it'll beep louder and faster when you get closer to it. So it's like, okay, that's kind of all the indication I need. Like, you don't have to show me exactly where it is if you're beeping to tell me that I'm getting close. It's like there's no point of having. Yeah, no, you'll start hearing a beeping sound when you get closer to a backpack, and it's like the first time that I saw a backpack, I was like, okay, hold on, let me get closer to it, and I just happened to hit R3, and it was like, oh, it's right fucking there. So it's like, why are we playing this game of hot and cold if I can literally just see exactly where it is? That was my only thing, but like, I forgive it just because it's fun to swing. So it's like, I don't care that I have to swing around from the top of the map to the bottom to find it, because it's like, it's fun to get there anyway. And I mean, with that many in there, like, you'd have to look up a walkthrough.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
You would totally have to look up a walkthrough if they didn't have some way to find it. But like, I guess I could forgive it. As far as it being an open world game, how did you feel about how the world was? Like, how you interact with the world and just like the New York experience?
I probably should have walked the streets a bit more. I felt like I didn't interact enough with the people. Still had fun though.
I'm gonna keep it real, I didn't either. Like, I spent so much time in the air and on top of buildings that I really didn't go down on the ground a lot.
Yeah, you better stop, bro, before the next Spider-Man game will take that out. Next, we'll be stuck like in that Spider-Man on PlayStation 1.
Oh, fuck no, they would not do that.
From the sky.
The ground just isn't even rendered like shit.
Nah, but yeah, like I need to go back and do that. Interact with some people more. I did like the fact that after, fought against Fisk and the demons, that they'll pull up on you in the street. What the hell?
Yeah, what?
The fuck was that?
Fucking scary, bro.
Who's playing? Is there anything y'all need to tell me?
Like, is someone looking up some good old hentai?
Nah, my serious tripping, yo. Oh my
Shit.
god.
Yeah, better stop playing.
But
Got
nah,
motherfuckers hopping in this joke.
bro. You know about the civilians. I don't know. I feel like they could have done more, man.
For real?
Just a little bit more because I don't know, if not showing more dynamic interactions with Spider-Man, then I would like to see more references to other characters in the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Through the people. Like maybe they're organizing an event, you know, to get rid of Hulk, you know, out of New York, you know, because he's too dangerous.
That'd be tight to see.
Reference to movies or something. Or you know, you in a cutscene, maybe you inadvertently see another character you weren't, you know, and they snuck a character in, like they put Doctor Strange or something, or a guy dressed as him, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. I would have loved to see that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I agree.
Because other than that, they're just you walk and they're like, "Hey, it's Spider-Man," and then you get that one guy. So you like, "Can I get a high five?" And then you high five him, and then you walk a little bit more. Then you get a fist or a demon guy trying to kill you. But that's pretty much it. Nothing else. Nothing else.
I think it does its job as an open world game, but it doesn't really do anything extra special.
Yeah, I agree, because we could have learned a lot more about the city through like context stuff, like Charles was saying. Because even though all we really know about this version is that Spider-Man has been Spider-Man for 8 years, the Avengers exist, they have the tower, and that Spider-Man has indeed met other superheroes. We don't know his relationship with them. We don't know if he's been an Avenger. We don't know anything like that. Unless, you know, you collect all the backpack, listen to all the things. I'm pretty sure that, you know, gives some more context, but like just purely based on like what happens in the game, you know, as far as like background stuff, foreground stuff, what the story centers on and what the side missions center on, from what I've played, I have no idea if Peter was ever, you know, an Avenger. You know, he's just chilled out with Doctor Strange before, like he does sometimes in the comics. I don't know if, you know, Hulk destroying buildings is a really big problem, and Fist takes advantage of it to build more shit. You know, there's a lot of stuff that's kind of like left up in the air, and I can understand it because this is a Marvel universe or a Marvel games universe that doesn't really exist yet. This is the test run. This is the alpha, if you will. But like, you know, it would have been kind of neat to get, you know, a little like nod or hint here or there to like, you know, their time. Like the closest I've gotten so far is I was swinging through New York and I passed the embassy, and what I didn't realize actually is that the embassy, that's one of the landmarks. I think there's also a Wakandan embassy over there.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, if you look,
where I can find it.
Yeah, no, the embassy landmark. If you like walk around on the ground, there's like a Wakandan specific embassy, and when I had taken a picture of that particular landmark, Peter had a remark about Black Panther, you know, being the king of Wakanda, you know, and how T'Challa is doing and stuff like that, and you know, his suit's kind of cool, you know. But outside of that, that's the closest I've gotten to like, you know, seeing what else has happened in this version of like, you know, the Marvel universe.
Yeah, I feel it. What was I about to say? Oh yeah, so there's one more thing I want to bring up before we like get to closing statements and shit. And that's voice acting. I think we covered what we wanted to in the story and how, you know, I think it was a good story, but no good story will work if there isn't some good voice acting. So what did you think about the voice actors in this game? I'm gonna come out and say that I thought they were really good. I liked Peter. I think he sounded like how he needed to. As far as like voice actors, like I didn't feel one way or the other about the specific voice actors. I just think everyone did a good job. Like they performed every character well. Like I think it was a very well voice acted game. But what did you guys think?
Alright, so as much as I hate Yuri Lowenko, because he's everybody, I think it's every. He was an alright.
Say that again?
I said as much as I hate Yuri, every.
Still cutting out, dude?
God, it's fucking Mike. Yeah. He's a good Peter. That's what I'm gonna say. I just wish he could retire already or some shit. But yeah.
Let this man get his money, bruh.
This nigga's like 50, bro.
He's trying to get paid.
Nah, he rich. He good.
He trying to be Sasuke and Peter Parker, dog.
But yeah, like I like Otto. The dude had like genuine emotion and shit. So
yeah,
Otto was done really well.
He really was.
We felt all his sorrow, his anger, his everything, man. I really messed with that.
He was like this, well, not second best, but he was as good as Alfred. As once again, Spider-Man 2.
Anywho, there's this one point that I wanted to bring up that I thought I guess it was like a more little known thing. Let me know if you guys peeped this. Tyree actually pointed out to me when I was like playing the first day. The voice actor that played Peter, he like recorded 2 takes of everything, and like he recorded 1 take for when he's like just standing and walking around, and a separate take for if you were to web swinging when you're talking. So you can like notice a very distinguishable like grunt in his noise, or like a grunt in his voice if he was like saying a line when he was web swinging or like fighting, opposed to if he said it like standing up or just like walking around, which like is a fucking incredible attention to detail.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
notice now that you say it, I do notice that.
Yeah, like that shit was incredible. Like I even like I stopped like mid sentence to be like, is he like grunting with the web swing? And like if you stop, he'll like talk normal, and then if you get up and swing, he'll be like, yeah, I'm just, going down here. It's like, oh, so he's like actually recording 2 different takes for everything to like,
here's
push that immersion.
Part. So if you're on the phone with Otto or Aunt May and like a plays accidentally, or you're doing like another mission, like Peter will actually
Say that again. You cut out again.
All right, so you're what am I saying? You're talking on the phone with Aunt May, right? And like you suddenly stop to fight some niggas, and cutscene plays. He will deadass resume the call and apologize to Aunt May for interrupting.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he does that.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah. I've actually done that a few times too. Like I'll be in the middle of stopping the car and be like, "Hey, I just gotta call you back," and you'll fight them, get done, and then be like, "Yeah, sorry about that,"
Oh wow.
But, what were you saying?
That's crazy. See, attention to detail, man. These are the things. These are the things that separate good games from great games. Just thinking about shit, because they didn't have to record 2 takes for everything.
It didn't.
Exactly.
That's why this game took so fucking long to come out. That's a good one. I appreciated that. I think Mary Jane's voice actor was kind of, but I mean, other than that.
It reminded me of Kirsten Dunst, and I hated her in Spider-Man. Her Spider-Man film, man.
Yeah, I mean.
Kind of flat, her voice acting.
She sounded hella familiar.
Low key, I need to see who she is. What else she's done. So, we've been doing this for like, it might have been like a couple hours now.
Yeah.
So, Damon, your closing statement on Marvel Spider-Man. I don't like giving things like number ratings. Like whenever I review a game, like I do it on like a should you buy it day 1 or should you just like wait. But what would your recommendation be? If you want to give it like a numbered score, then like sure, go for it.
I'd say like an 8 out of 10. Get the game if you like. If you want, alright, get the game if you like comics but want to see shit stick, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Get it for the web slinging and the combat. It's gonna be fun as hell. Look forward to the sequel because you're going to want a sequel.
Oh, absolutely, and they definitely set one up.
Yeah. So yeah, that's all I got.
All right, Charles, your closing statement for Marvel Spider-Man PS4.
Definitely cop. Definitely pick up the game. For one, it's a PlayStation exclusive. We all know that PlayStation comes through with the exclusives, and right now I believe this is the best one out. Combat great. Web swinging is great, and I feel like the baseline stuff for the game is so good. It's so done exceptionally well that the big stuff, the story, the side missions, and the parts of the game where you're not Spider-Man, it kind of makes up for that because you're going to be doing most of that anyway. You have to swing to get places, and there's damn near a fight everywhere you go. So you'll be spending a lot of time doing that, just having fun, learning about the combat system, not really thinking about the story, and you'll enjoy it. You'll have fun. So I definitely think it's worth a buy.
Absolutely.
Day one.
All right. Oh yeah, A1 day one, bruh. Sean, what do you think? Closing statements. Marvel Spider-Man.
Yeah. This is probably my favorite Spider-Man game. I would definitely buy it day one because I already did, and I don't regret my purchase.
Nope.
Yeah. So if you like Spider-Man at all, obviously you have the game already, and if you're on the fence about it, I'd say 100% pick it up. The story, way better than I thought it would be going into the game, so not at all disappointed. As a Spider-Man fan personally, I got everything I was looking for out of this game, outside of the characters they already said weren't going to be in the game. And if there is anything to be disappointed about, it's the fact that he's not gonna be with Felicia Hardy, because I don't like Mary Jane. So that's for real my only gripe. I hate Mary Jane in this game. For real, nah, hard pass on that one.
Damn, nigga. You ain't fuck with Mary Jane. All right.
Wife left.
Straight up.
Jeez. All right. For me, I think it's a day one buy, and I bought this one day one, and I usually don't buy games day one, but
yeah, this is the first time in a long time I bought a game day one.
Yeah, but this, I mean, I had to get this one, dude. Like, this one, I think it's time to throw Spider-Man 2 away, boys, because this is gonna be the Spider-Man game that we come back to.
Not gonna lie, you're right.
Yeah, man, because
No,
like,
wait.
Here we go.
Because no Spider-Man game will ever top the pizzeria delivery.
Oh my fucking god, bro.
I hate you. Everyone else
God, man.
who has that.
That music is in my
song
nightmares.
in front of me. I hate you.
That music, I hear those music. I hear that shit in my nightmares, dude.
Right.
It's
Oh
beautiful.
my god.
Beautiful.
Throw that shit away, boy. Play you some Spider-Man on
Spider-Man
PS4.
PS4 does not have that in there, and it's thoroughly disappointing.
Wait, no, it is in there.
Where?
No,
The music is in the game.
no, I know, but there's no mission like that.
Nigga, ain't nobody like that.
Bro, it was fun, man.
Why would a scientist deliver pizza?
Because he's poor.
And then if you jump up too hard, and if you jump too rigorously,
he
the
got a
fucking
degree.
pizza gets fucked up.
He got a degree. He ain't delivering no pizza.
Nah.
It's a correct representation of the education system in America right now.
Nah, bro, this Peter Parker is a better example of that. This nigga got like a PhD as a scientist, and he got fucking evicted.
He did.
Exactly.
They put this nigga out. He came home, his fucking house was empty. They done changed the locks on his ass.
threw his shit in the trash.
Yeah, this nigga had to sleep at the shelter. That's the real Peter Parker right there, boy.
Sleep in a shelter and on a random rooftop. Which,
Yeah.
one last thing, I really appreciate the fact that like partway through the game, after he hadn't slept in days, he actually just knocked out on the top of a roof. Because I was wondering like when that would happen, and it happened right when I was thinking that, and I was like, okay, y'all paid attention.
Oh hell yeah.
Good on script writers. So yeah.
I mean,
This
you
nigga
get
Spider-Man
your ass
should
beat
go.
by fucking Sinister Six. It's gonna take something out of you.
Oh hell yeah. Absolutely. But nah, I think it's a day one pickup. I think for the web swinging, for this combat system, for this story that surprised the hell out of me, and I think everybody, I think it's a pickup, especially if you're one of those PlayStation people who are on the fence. I mean, I don't even know why I'm saying it's a pickup, because like I saw something today that said that this is like their fastest selling PlayStation exclusive, like out of any. So it's like,
Besides
Makes
Bloodborne,
sense.
yeah, like this game already has a really high attach rate for PS4 anyway. So chances are, if you have a PS4, you probably have this game. But yeah, it's a good one. I think people are gonna like this, and I think we're gonna be coming to this and not Spider-Man 2 for a long time. We're gonna be telling our kids about this one. We're gonna tell them about Spider-Man 2 as well, but I think this one brought Spider-Man back, because after Spider-Man 2 and after Ultimate Spider-Man, Spider-Man's been in a bit of a dark place. Like Spider-Man 3 sucked.
It was Sonic.
Yeah, it's been a little bad for a minute, but I think this one brought Spider-Man back. So there's that. There's one other thing I wanted to bring up that I fucking forgot. And then this will be the last thing. They announced the DLC. Like they announced, like they showed a trailer for the first DLC before the game even came out. How do you guys feel about that?
I mean, that's just the climate we're in, bruh.
Yeah.
You know, any game that comes out, multiplayer, single player, DLC is a part of it. We're gone from the days where the quote unquote DLC is already in the game and you gotta unlock it some way.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just par for the course now, man. We know DLC is gonna come out, so they're like, why have you waiting?
Well, I think a better question is, do you think it's like, because I knew it was gonna have DLC, and I'm fine. I'm okay with DLC. And I knew the game had a season pass, which means, I mean, like, they have DLC there. My question is, do you think it's cut content?
nah,
You think it's not?
nah.
No, with the way that the game was built, I really think that like they did everything that they needed for the game first,
Mm-hmm.
and then they built the side missions and the collectible missions and all that other stuff to hint at what they were gonna do with the DLC, but they never. I don't feel like, you know, these were missions that were cut from the main story. Like, I played a complete story. I would have preferred the side missions add more to the game, but you know, it's really easy to tell that the side missions they put in there have nothing to do with the DLC, and that, you know, the collectibles for like Black Cat, for example, since she's the first DLC, it's really obvious to see that was just put in there to explain how she got back into operation, and that was pretty much it. So I'm cool with it. Plus, I'm a big fan of Black Cat. So yeah.
I'll be down with it.
Black Cat hentai.
Oh my gosh, we knew it was coming. Somebody had to say it.
Black leather is pretty dope. So
Somebody had to say it. We was just waiting on who it was gonna be. That's some nasty motherfuckers, boy.
Like Sean said, though, I agree. The story felt complete without the DLC. So
It did. I don't know. You know, my fucking radar is always up for shit like that.
yeah, man, Destiny really blew the doors open on that bitch.
Yeah.
So we gotta stay woke for that. But
I just hope we don't find out that it's like on the disc already, like Destiny did or some shit. That would make sense.
I mean, that would suck. That would
Yeah.
suck a lot.
It is what it is. Did anyone pick up the season pass?
Nah,
I'm broke.
I was about to, but
I just haven't done it yet, but I'm going to do it. So
Yeah,
How
there's
much-
no incentive to getting
I'll
it
wait
now.
for my refund, bro. I'm not gonna pick up shit till my refund.
I feel that.
Yeah, there's no incentive to buy it early.
Yeah.
Anyway or anything. So
Did anybody pre-order it?
I did, but I didn't have my pre-order code on my receipt, so fuck you, GameStop. I never.
For real?
I'm fucking suck my left nut, and I want you to know that. All right.
But those points though.
The
But yeah, you
points,
give me
though.
them fucking points. You
Oh
dirty
my
bastard.
god. They fucked you over on the pre-order
They
code?
fucked me over on the fucking pre-order code.
The reason you pre-order?
The reason I fucking pre-ordered. I don't have
Oh
shit.
my
I
god.
don't start the game with
God.
extra nothing. I start
That's
the game with
unfortunate.
The same shit everybody else starts the game with that didn't pre-order.
That shit blew me too. I thought that I was missing out on shit by not pre-ordering, but they just literally unlock suits earlier for you.
And
Like-
I want my early fucking suits. I handed over $5 for that goddamn game. Like, actually, it was $25 because I ordered like the Super Collector's Edition. But I saw
Oh,
the statue.
boy.
I didn't really like it, so you know, $25 off the game. Off the base game was pretty dope. $45 for the game. Point is, fuck you, GameStop. I want my goddamn codes. I tweeted at you motherfuckers, and none of you did anything about it.
You didn't go back to the store and like say, where the fuck is my code?
No, I didn't. I didn't want to waste the gas or the time. I didn't care that much because I just ended up playing the game to unlock this shit anyway. But
This
still,
is why you
fuck
go to your
scumfuck
local-
bastards in the goddamn box. You dirty rat bitches.
This is why you don't go all the way out to Annapolis to pre-order a game. You pre-order at your local GameStop, nigga.
I used to work at my local GameStop, so fuck them too.
Oh damn.
You know who you are.
Damn.
I don't want to say no names. Bryant, nah, boy.
Oh nah.
I don't want to say nothing else, but I'ma just leave it at this. Thanks for the free copy of Persona, hoes.
Oh damn.
No, I'm joking.
Oh my
I'm
god.
not-
Sean stole Persona confirmed.
Yo.
God damn. Well, I think. Oh, you know what? Let me ask one more question. What was you guys' favorite suit?
Wait.
Don't ask me that shit.
Nah, I need an answer.
Mm-mm.
If they said you have to wear one suit for the rest of the game, what are you wearing?
Spider Armor Mark IV.
Same.
White 2099 suit.
I'm gonna go with Sean.
Y'all gonna call me a plain bitch for this? I like the I really like the Stark suit, dude.
Nah, you.
Boy.
Bruh, I thought it looked.
You look like a grown man trying to be 10 years old to get in the Stark suit.
Bro, that
Boy, you
shit
better
looks
take
so
that
clean.
clean.
I like that one and the Iron Spider one, bruh. Those were my favorites.
You look like Tom Holland grew up and couldn't let go of the years he was Spider-Man.
Nigga, I can't let go. That shit look clean. I was just like, it's just like the movie.
Oh my god.
Bruh, I'm sorry. That shit looked too clean for me, bruh. I was
just
like,
bro, I'm too big to be in this suit. It looks creepy.
what are you talking about?
Put on his middle school gym uniform to remember the good days.
Oh my
Roman
goodness.
Beat up like Tom Holland and took his clothes, man.
Right, I couldn't do it. Like, every time I put the suit on, I'd take it off after like less than 5 minutes. I'd be like, oh, this is kind of nasty. I'm gonna just leave this alone.
Y'all niggas are lame, bro. When y'all see the review of this, not even the review, when you watch the gameplay that's over top of this podcast, it's gonna be all me in that fucking suit, dog.
I'm gonna just listen to the podcast and like the video play in the background while I do something else.
Oh my god. Yeah, this gonna be an audio form podcast like shit. That's what my review's about to look like, because I definitely play with that suit for like 80% of that game.
Oh my god.
I just have I
Boy.
have such a nostalgic connection to like the classic Spider-Man suits. And I really like the Stark one from the movie, so I was like, oh, bet.
I feel
And then they had the Iron Jump that was basically the one from Infinity War. I was like, this is perfect.
Oh yeah.
Well, since we are at the end of this long ass fucking podcast, everybody plug your shit. Damon, where can people find you? Your social medias or your shit.
Follow my Instagram, damon.jpg. That's DAMO.jpg on Instagram.
Send me your, I'm gonna make sure we put all your shit in the description too. You ain't got shit else to plug, my nigga?
Nah.
You don't wanna plug your SoundCloud, dog?
Man, you better send them your hentai foundry link, man.
What?
Like,
I'm sorry, hentai what?
Hentai foundry. I'm sorry, DeviantArt. I'm sorry.
alright.
Hentai Foundry.
Alright, I'm gonna do this right.
But yeah, go to Hentai Foundry if you want that good shit.
Y'all niggas are wild.
Follow me on Twitter, at Jaimon Fox, DJAIMONFOX, Jaimon Fox. Follow me on Instagram at DamonJPEG, DAMON.jpg. And yeah, I don't use social media.
Alright, bet. Sean, Kid Sparks, whatever the fuck your name is, where can people find you?
Yeah.
Is it Kid Sparks or is it just Sparks?
Honestly, it's just Sparks, but I'm still trying to like switch everything over. So my Instagram is Sparks of Art _. It's exactly how it sounds, and if you can't spell that, I don't want you to fucking follow me.
You ain't about to get no followers, nigga.
But my Instagram is I say Instagram. Wow, I guess I'm the troglodyte here.
Basically.
My Twitter is the Kid Pro. Just I don't know why no one took it before me, but that's just what it is. The Kid Pro. Follow me, at me or whatever. Slide in my DMs and tell me my opinions are trash, and I promise I will fight you.
Oh my god.
Well, damn.
With words.
My man is confident. Oh, with words. Alright, nigga. Alright, my man Charles, Uncle Charles. Where can we find you, bruh? Where can we find you and the whole squad?
The whole squad. First,
Yeah.
you can find me on Instagram, Uncle Charles. That's Uncle with a K, not a C. That's on Instagram.
That's important, not a C.
Not a C, with a K. Because I'm hip,
How many Ks? 1, 2,
Only
3?
one. Only one. What are you
Just one.
trying to get at, man?
I'm just asking questions.
Uncle Charles, the secret white supremacist?
Nah, man. On Twitter, you can find me at, it's Uncle Charles, same thing with a K. That's Uncle Charles _ on Twitter. And if you want to follow all of us and follow us just doing a bunch of crazy hooligan shit and then with like talking about anime or whatever, nerd shit, it's you want to follow us at Otaku Daily. That's on Instagram it's _Otaku Daily, and on Twitter it's Otaku Daily _ because it's not an original name. Screw you guys. All right.
Do you guys have an official Otaku Daily YouTube?
Oh yeah, we have. Oh yeah, fuck. Oh my god, how to forget that? I don't care about my business at all. Okay. Well, yeah, it's Otaku Daily. Just search us up there on YouTube. We have more videos on the way, and yeah, pretty much it.
All that shit. I also want to unofficially announce.
On our channel.
Oh yeah. I want to unofficially announce the Otaku Daily Patreon.
Yes.
Where for 50 cents a month, you can help these broke niggas afford the season pass to Spider-Man.
Yes. So you can get more gameplay. We should upload some gameplay to the channel.
Do that shit.
Yeah.
And as for me, I mean, you fucking know who I am. This is Iro on fucking Twitter and Instagram. No, on fucking Twitter, my at is at Boss Pliskin, which is BOSS_PLISKIN. But that my shit's already in the fucking description, so y'all know where the fuck to find me at. What blows me about my Instagram is that I changed it to Iro, but like some sick bastard. Apparently, there's some company called Iro that sells hair dye.
Oh god.
So I end up fucking changing my at name on Instagram, cause to get Iro on Instagram, I had to put like fucking 4 underscores in between that bitch, bro. Like it's just like, all right, that shit just looks stupid at this point. So I'm like, all right, what the fuck is going on here? But nah, Iro on YouTube, of course. It's bro. It's like Iro like 10 underscores and another Iro, bro. Like this should be blowing me.
Oh my god.
Yeah, man. Fuck that hair dye company. Taking my shit. When I get rich and famous, I'm gonna be like, look, just give me the handle, dude. Just let me have it. But that's my YouTube, social media. As far as music, Iro on. What the fuck am I on? I'm not on Spinrilla. Apple Music. download and stream Killer on Apple Music and Spotify and
Yes,
SoundCloud
yeah.
if you want to
Listening
get it for
rights.
free. It's still for
Man.
free, but I mean, if you want to toss a nigga like 10 cents per play, it's less than that actually.
Oh god.
Yeah, it's bruh. The first song I put on fucking Apple Music, I made like 17 cents off that bitch. Baby steps, my nigga. But yeah, Iro on Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that shit, YouTube videos and all that. You already know what it is. All right, we will reconvene for another podcast. Good talk, gentlemen.
All right.
Thank you, boys.
All right. We out of here.
Yeah.